You're listening to the Intuitive Souls podcast. I am your host, Erica Russo, and this podcast is designed to educate, inspire, and enlighten. Let's wake up together. Hey guys, and welcome back to the show. So this is going to be the second part of the 32 things I have learned in 32 years birthday special. It's been pretty crazy here, if I say so myself. It was actually my birthday a couple days ago. It was really nice, and thank you guys so much for all the birthday love that you sent me. I really appreciate it. It made my day. And so for my birthday, what did we do? We actually went to a hibachi for like a late lunch, early dinner. And it was really cute because it was the first time my boys ever went to a hibachi place. And they were quite amazed and very well behaved. So that was always good. So this is the second part of the 32 things I have learned in 32 years. So I'm going to be finishing up the list of things that I have learned. I hope that you guys are finding all of this helpful and it's resonating with you guys. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. My name is Erica Russo. I'm a psychic medium and I am the host of this podcast. This podcast is designed to help you guys kind of awaken to your spiritual journey and give you guys all the information you need to just live a more balanced, happy life. And I talk about things everywhere from essential oils to mediumship to psychic development to intuition, anything under that spirituality woo-woo umbrella I am talking about, and I am bringing you guys amazing guests to help you guys learn about this stuff. So in this episode, like I said, I'm going to be finishing off the 32 things I've learned in 32 years. This episode has definitely been like kind of a test for me because the last time I was recording it, I was already like 15 minutes in, and then I started getting text messages and the house phone rang. So I was like, oh my gosh, no. So this is my second attempt and hopefully everything works out well. So I ended the last birthday special episode with number 16, which was try not to judge. So my number 17 is love yourself first. This is something I cannot, I live by this. Our self-love is so important and it reflects upon every single relationship we have within our lives. If we love ourselves first, we're not going to just take anything less than what we deserve, okay? Our self-love is something that if we love ourselves and if we really truly put that love first, it reflects upon every single relationship that we have, whether it's with our parents, our friends, our children, our spouse, our boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It is going to give you a much happier, more fulfilled relationship because when we have that self-love, we are showing that we respect ourselves and that we know what our worth is. So we're not going to attract low vibe people and people that are going to try to take advantage of us. So self-love is really, truly important. And I hope everybody is at least taking the time and energy to understand just how powerful and beautiful you are as a soul. So number 18 is breathe. So this is something that I think we do just on a subconscious level. Like we don't even realize we're doing it. It's just like almost programmed in us. You know, when we hear bad news, when we're stressed or whatever, don't we all like just take that long, deep breath in and inhale and exhale? Like I feel like we all just do that and we don't even realize we're doing it. This is something that I feel like God gave us, these techniques, these breathing techniques that are almost just already pre-programmed within us to help us get through those hard times, get through those hardships, get through those times of anxiety and pain because, you know, we all need like that toolbox. We all need some help from time to time because life is crazy and we just have to learn to embrace it. So there's so many breathing techniques out there. I have so many, and a lot that I have learned just by interviewing people on this podcast. Lauren Nicole, she is a spiritual life coach and yoga teacher. She told us, I believe it was episode 9, some really great breathing techniques that I use now, that I use in my everyday, that really help me kind of calm down and get to a place of zen and happiness. So learn some breathing techniques. I'm sure that there are so many out there for you. Check YouTube. I'm sure you guys already know of some stuff, especially if you do yoga or Kundalini yoga or meditation. So that is number 18. Number 19 is remember you play the villain in someone else's story. So this is something that's true for me. When we walk away from narcissists, or when we walk away from people that, lower our vibrations or don't treat us with the respect that we deserve, that person, especially with narcissists, they're going to look at the situation and you walking away as if you're the villain. You're the villain because you gave up on them, or you gave up on the relationship, or you're not strong enough, or whatever. That's how you are going to be perceived in their eyes. So we have to remember that, even if we're in a relationship and the person isn't a narcissist, but we're just not happy and it's not fulfilling us and we end up walking away, we're going to look like the villain to this person's mother, to their sister, to their friends. We're going to be the villain in that person's story, but we have to understand that our self-love is so important, and our happiness is what we're here for. We're here to achieve joy and happiness. And if something is no longer serving you, if a relationship is no longer serving you, whether it be, abusive or not abusive, you have to know, and you have to have the strength to walk away, and just do so in a loving manner. Do it from your heart center, and hopefully, work for the best. But a lot of the times, if you walk away from someone, especially if it's not an abusive relationship, or the person's just a genuine person, but you're just not fulfilled, you're going to look like the villain. You're going to play the villain, and you have to be okay with that. You can't be in a relationship that you just stay in because you're afraid of what people are going to think of you. That is not what we're here for. That is not why you're living your life. So that's definitely something that has taught me a lot about the relationships and the roles that I play in other people's lives. So number 20, gratitude is powerful. So when I first started on my journey, I was kind of like, one of the first things you learn in yoga and meditation and everything and all the books is how powerful gratitude is and how we need to express it on a daily basis. And that was something that I was like, I don't know about that. So, for a while, I really wasn't working on my gratitude. I really didn't take it personally. I don't know. It wasn't important to me. But then I realized one day I was like, I really should appreciate what I have. So I got myself a 5-minute journal. And then in the morning when I'm sipping my coffee, I do, 3 things I'm grateful for. And I write down what I'm looking forward to and things that I'm working on. And it really gets me in such a great mindset. It really just gets me, in just so happy and powerful. And it makes me feel like I have that full tank of gas that lets me go on with my day and just seize it. So gratitude really is powerful, and we can express it in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? If you're outside, if it's a beautiful day and you're walking, express gratitude for the grass and the sky and the clouds and the flowers. Or, you can be like me, and I do, my 5-minute journal every single day. And then, at night, I'll say 3 things that I was grateful for that happened that, that made me happy. And then I know somebody, and I really like this idea, is that they literally put a timer on their phone in the morning for 1 minute, and then for 1 minute, they just go on a rant in their journal about everything they're grateful for. And all of these help. All of these raise your vibrations. All of these things are only going to make your day that much better. So gratitude really is powerful. 21 is take time outs. You know, we live in a society where it's like go, 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 hustle, 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 you know, we have to achieve, achieve, achieve. And it's just like, not really, not so much, you know. We need to work on our alignment, because when we're aligned, things flow so much easier. I can't tell you how many times where it's like I have this massive to-do list and I just kind of freak out or whatever. And then I just give myself a break, you know. If I have something planned, you know, for my morning or my afternoon, right, and I'm just not feeling it, I'm just not feeling aligned, I know that it's not going to be my best work. You know, when you're an entrepreneur or a stay-at-home parent or whatever, you know, don't just take a time out. Just take a time out. I can't tell you how many times where I've learned, like, you know, I'll have like a long list of what I have to do, you know, as far as my business is concerned, and I will just not be feeling it. Maybe it was a hard morning with the kids, or I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling in alignment. And I will just go to my favorite place to hike, and I will hike, and I will, you know, douse myself with Balance essential oil from doTERRA, and I'll, you know, go buy myself a juice from Whole Foods. But, you know, after I do this, after I just take that, you know, 2-3 hour time out, I can't tell you what that does for me. I can't tell you that, like, I come back refreshed. I feel happy. I'm like, all about it, and my work and my creativity flow so much easier when I give myself a break. And we really have to give ourselves a break, you know, especially if you're an empath, because we are taking on so much energy that it's exhausting. It is so exhausting. And, you know, like what I did last year for my birthday was I just got myself a hotel room for myself, and it was a local hotel room. It was literally the next town over. I just got myself a beautiful hotel room. I went and took a nice long bath. I meditated. I got room service, and just that time, it wasn't even 24 hours. I just was by myself, and I just allowed myself to like veg out and like watch trash TV and, you know, read and do all of that. That like builds me up. That short little stint filled me up so completely with the energy and the positivity I needed. And I was like, good. I was like, good to go when I got home. So take time outs often. And, you know, remember it's important. Remember it is important. So number 22 is never stop learning. This is something that I base my business off of. This is something that I base my life off of. I really am a student of life. I cannot tell you, like, I love learning, especially with things that I'm passionate about. And, you know, I'm passionate about mediumship, and I'm passionate about psychic development and intuition and learning about my soul and connecting with it. So I'm never going to stop learning about this, because our souls and our higher selves and everything under the spirituality umbrella, there's so much that we can learn, guys. There's just so much information. I can't even tell you that. It can get like so daunting and like crazy because we don't know where to start, and we just have to realize like we have to take it a day at a time. But you know, I am a student of life, and I'm never going to stop learning. I'm never going to stop going to mediumship workshops or psychic development workshops. I'm never going to stop taking classes, because I realize the investment is well worth what I get back. It really is. I feel more confident with my work when I educate myself on new things, and I just feel more connected to my soul. We have to, it really is. I just love learning. I really love learning, and I'm never going to stop learning. So always know that, like, if you're on the fence about taking a class or a workshop, and if it's something that you really, really, you're so guided towards and you want to do it and you want to learn more, don't think twice about it. Just make the investment, because I'm telling you right now, if you're being pushed towards something, if you're seeing ads for a class or whatever, do it. Totally do it. Ask your intuition. Use it to your advantage, because our higher selves want us to be the best version of ourselves, right? We are here on this planet to achieve, just to try to be the best version of ourselves. So to be the best version of ourselves is through education and knowledge. So always know that. Okay, so number 23 is create boundaries. This is something that I know that a lot of empaths struggle with in their life, because we're just energetic sponges and we don't know how to say no. So many healers have this problem. So many healers don't know how to set boundaries, because they're healers. We're here. We're light workers. We're here to help. We're here to create change and bring harmony into this world. So when when something comes up, like, that boundaries should be there, we don't know how to set them. This is something that I feel that I'm pretty good at. I learned very early on that boundaries are what keeps you safe and keeps my energy and my alignment intact, because you don't want to, it's so easy for us as empaths and for us as, spiritual beings and light workers to become drained, to become energetically drained and fried. And we have to create these boundaries for our own good. It's not to like push anybody away. It's not to, be rude or anything. These boundaries need to be there for our own good, and it helps us create, a stable balance within our lives. So number 24 is always hold the door open. This is something that I always did. I didn't even, I don't even think twice about it. Like when I'm going to the gym or when I'm going into a public place and I see someone walking, I'll wait and I'll hold the door open. This is something that I just feel like you pay it forward. You know what I mean? It's like that Starbucks thing where you pay for the person in back of you in the drive-thru. But, holding the door open, your angels are always watching. You know what I mean? Your angels are always watching. They see how you treat other people. They see how you treat strangers. They see how you treat your friends and your family. So holding the door open is only giving you good karma points, And it's something that's so small that why not do it? Why not, show kindness to a stranger? You don't know how that person, what that person is going through. They might be going through a bad day. They might be, in a fight with their spouse or something like that. So, just that small act of kindness might be helping them. So, number 25 is make your bed. I don't know. This is, I read a book called Make Your Bed. It's from, oh gosh, I don't know who it's from, but I'm sure you guys know it. It was on the New York Times bestseller, and he did a beautiful speech that's all over the internet. And when I listened to this speech, no joke, I cried like a baby. I cried like such a baby. It was such a motivational and inspirational piece of work. And I bought his book because I just loved his reasoning in making your bed. And this is something no joke. My beds are made in the morning. This is something, as soon as I read this book and why he does it and why it sets the tone for his day and it gives this positive outlook on the day, I make my beds. I make my bed. I make my children's bed in the morning. And if that's the only thing I get done, and this is what I say to myself all the time, if that is the only thing I get done in that day, at least the beds were made. At least I did something. At least I did something to, clean the house or whatever. And it really does. Some days it's even hard to make the bed. It's even hard to just concentrate and just when I know, like I literally do it, like I have my cup of coffee and it's like kind of like clockwork. I just start walking in the rooms, I make the beds, and just knowing that I did that makes me feel that much better about my day. No joke. Like I said, even if I don't do anything else, at least I made the beds, right? So, number 26. And this, I should change this one because I said stop, rest, reset often. Because this is basically the timeout thing. But, I can't stress enough how important it is to take time out for ourselves. There's so many times, like for me, I know when I need a break. I know when I need a timeout. I know when I need to leave the house, when I need to be alone, when I need to go away or see my girlfriends or whatever. And we, especially as moms, especially as working moms, mompreneurs, mom bosses, we always just, I don't know, like it's something like we don't think it's important, I guess, or I think we do know it's important, but it's just something that is always pushed to the side, that stop, rest, and reset, especially for moms. Moms, dude, we are freaking superheroes. Like, seriously. I look at some of my mom friends and I'm just like, I can't get over how much we do in a day. I can't, I just can't. It's really, truly amazing, and we have to give ourselves a break, and we need to give ourselves a pat on the back. So, pat on the back to all my mom bosses, all the mompreneurs, all the ones that are, creating blogs while the kids are napping or waking up early so they can record a podcast. Like, this is real life, and this is hard work, and you guys are killing it, okay? So, number 27, excuse my language, but is deal with shit. That's exactly what I wrote. Deal with shit. I was an absolute pro at throwing things under the rug, throwing them in the back end of the closet, things that I didn't want to deal with, projects I didn't want to deal with, especially with emotions. I come from a family of Scandinavians, and we're very not emotional people. We do not show affection whatsoever. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, this is something that kind of is in my DNA, that we just don't deal with our emotions. We don't deal with the hurt. It took me 30 years of reprogramming myself to understand that I just feel better when I talk about my emotions, but I need to give myself time to really digest my emotions and then handle them. We need to deal with shit, period. We need to deal with shit. If it's so easy, if someone does something that hurts you, right? Hurts your feelings, or they say something mean or whatever, and it's sitting in you, and you're thinking about it a couple days later, that's obviously something, that's an indication to you that it needs to be healed, that it needs to be dealt with. We can't let it sit in our hearts and in our minds, because it creates this negative, whirlwind energy, and we don't want that. We want to be happy. We want to be happy. That is our ultimate goal in this life, is to achieve joy. So, that is something for me, especially if something happens, and this actually happened to me a couple of weeks ago, where someone said something that really hurt me. It really did. It hit home, and, I knew right then and there, I didn't say anything when it happened, but I knew right then and there that it was something that I had to address. Once I kind of got all my ducks in a row and, meditated on it and let it sink in. And I did. I addressed it, and I voiced, I expressed my truth in a very respectful way, and, it was resolved. But we don't want, if someone hurt us or whatever, if someone did something that pissed us off, we need to talk about it. It's important, because we can't let other people's actions and their opinions affect our alignment. That is something that I am really passionate about. So, like I said, it's so hard for empaths to do that, not let other people affect our alignment. But, just learn that it's really just no. You know what I mean? You have to deal with shit. You know, even if it's good, bad, or ugly. And sometimes, like 9 times out of 10 for me, when I deal with things that, like, you know, you don't want to deal with, you don't want to come. I'm not really a confrontational person. I don't like fighting. I end up like running away, but I realize that if it's affecting me, if it's on my mind, I don't want it to be on my mind. So I need to deal with it. And once I deal with it, it's gone. It's out of my reality. So that is number 27. So number 28 is allow yourself to be open. And what I mean by that is everybody wants manifestation. Everyone's trying to manifest something, a successful business, a partner, a certain amount of money, a house, a car, a job, what have you. You know, we're all in this to manifest something. And, you know, I talk about the law of attraction often, and, you know, it really is it's a true thing. And, you know, like attracts like, simple as that. But we also have to understand that with that, yes, we can be thinking all the thoughts. We can be using our, you know, visual power to create the life that we want or the house that we want. And we're, you know, meditating on it and we're envisioning how we're going to live this life once we have the house or the money or the car or the kids or whatever. And we have to also remember that we need to remember the law of allowing. We need to allow ourselves to receive this. We need to open ourselves up energetically and open our hearts to the process of the law of attraction, because you can think all the thoughts you want and you can be a high vibe person, and you can really, you know, set your intentions every day to be in alignment, and you can, you know, use visualization as a tool and just be on target. And if you don't realize that you are worthy of all of these things that you're trying to manifest, you're not going to get them. You need to be open to it. You need to allow yourself. You need to realize that you are worth it and that, you know, you can achieve this. And that is what I mean by allowing yourself to be open. So number 29 is, you know, let me get the guitar in the background, is you can't always get what you want. So you can't always get what you want. You know, this is something that a lot of us, it's hard to sit with. You know, you can't always get what you want, especially if it's something that you thought it was like your end game, you know. And we have to understand that, like, you know, maybe I'm trying to put it in a way that it's like, okay, so say we want to get back together with an ex-boyfriend, right? And this ex-boyfriend doesn't want to get back together and it just doesn't seem to be working out. But this is something that you thought was, you know, destined, and you really wanted to work things out with this person, but it's not working out in your favor. You know, sometimes we have to understand that, like, maybe he isn't right for you. Just because you want him doesn't mean he's the right one for you. And maybe you will be, you know, single for 2 years or, you know, 5 years or whatever. Or maybe you'll meet your Prince Charming, you know, in 2 days. But we have to understand that a lot of the times there's things that are out of our power. There's, you know, divine forces in the background giving you what you need, either whether it be a lesson or, you know, something that's kind of a trump card in your life. But you have to understand that, like, we signed up, you know, when we, you know, and when I really read, and I want to talk about the seed of the soul, and this is something that I'm going to probably do a whole separate episode on spirituality books, but I read the seed of the soul, and this was like this was like kind of the gate opener for me as far as my spirituality is concerned. And it talks about things that, you know, some things are just destined. You know, we look at relationships, we have a tendency of looking at relationships and, yeah, maybe there was, a lot of love there and it was a beautiful relationship, but we have to understand that it might just be a lesson. That relationship might have just been a lesson. This job might have just been a lesson. And we just kind of have to have faith in the universe, and we have to have faith in our angels, and we have to have faith in a bigger picture, whatever it is. So that is something that, you can't always get what you want. So number 30 is make sure you have joy in your life. I can't stress this enough. Like we all, as human beings, we all feel all the emotions. Like human life is hard, guys. No joke. Human life is really hard. We deal with all these emotions and all these negative emotions. And I always say, like, as long as I have a little bit of joy, just a little bit of joy in my day, I'll be okay. Like I'll be set. Sometimes I have bad days. Sometimes I lose my shit. Sorry, not sorry. Sometimes I am totally and completely and utterly human. And it's a part of life. It's learning, with these bad days, it's learning to have the tools and to have that outsider perspective of these bad days that is going to help you not let this bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month or a bad year. We're all going to have bad days. But, at the end of the day, if it was a really bad day, we just sit here and say, it was just one day. It's only a bad day. It's not a bad life. That is what I say. So, number 31 is someone's opinion about you is none of your business. This is something that I've learned the hard way. I would have to say this, but we live in a world of free will. So everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone has a way of doing things in their life. And, we form judgments so quickly. Like we don't even realize we're forming judgments. Someone might come to, I'm sure there's people there that, judge the way I parent, judge the way I live my life. And, that's their free will. They have the right to, think a certain way, but we have to remember it's none of our damn business. We have to remember it's none of our damn business what someone thinks about us. Granted, it is their opinion about us, but as long as you like yourself, as long as you like your life, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It usually indicates to me that when someone is upset over finding out that someone isn't, that's talking about them or doesn't, accept the way they live their life and it's really bothering them, that usually indicates to me that there's some other deep-rooted problems that need to be addressed. Someone who can sit here and say, listen, this is the way I live my life. This is the way I raise my kids. This is the way I do my business. This is the way I fully and completely accept myself and, take it for what it is. You might like me, you might not, but ultimately I like me and that's all that matters. If someone is going to be upset over, a comment or, someone else's opinion about you, that, like I said, that usually indicates something within yourself that needs healing, right? So just keep that in mind. And then number 32, the last one, is be authentic. This is something that I try to be as authentic as I possibly can. I try to be as real as I possibly can. I don't try to sugarcoat things. I don't try to be someone I'm not. I mean, that to me just sounds so freaking exhausting. Putting on a facade or putting on something that I'm not. Like, life is hard enough. I just want to, show up, be me, say the things that I want to say and walk away. I don't want to pretend that I'm someone I'm not. And this is something that I feel, especially with business, especially if you're an entrepreneur, I realize that the people that show up the most authentic and the most vulnerable are the ones that are the most successful, are the ones that really connect with their clients and their tribe on a deeper level. Because they say that they're human, they show their faults, and they show that you can have faults and you can still be successful and you can still run a successful business. So, being authentic is something that I do. I don't think I ever had a problem with not being authentic, honestly, and it's gotten me in trouble, but it is what it is. And being authentic is really, it has helped me. It really has helped me, especially in business, especially, with finding my tribe. I find a lot of like-minded people because I don't try to put on a facade and I don't try to be someone I'm not. Okay. So those are the 32 things that I have learned in 32 years. Thank you so much for coming back and listening. And thank you so much for your support. Like I said, if this is your first time listening to my podcast, welcome. Thank you for listening. Where am I right now? 30 seconds. Thank you so much for taking that time out of your day to listen to my rant or my spiel or whatever. And if you guys are enjoying the podcast, please go ahead onto iTunes and if you have a second or two, just write a review because it helps me get this podcast out. It helps me get to the audience. It helps us get to more light workers, more empaths, more people that are spiritually awakening to their life's purpose. So every review, every written review, every like really helps. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you soon.